name is Sigal Shoham, and this is the Conflict Hotline. What you say next can change the world. I will be hosting tonight's show. Mickey Kashtan is away this month. With me in the studio are Newt Bailey and Ali Miller. Newt is a mediator and trainer, and Ali is a therapist who uses NVC in her practice. Thanks for joining me today, Newt and Ali. Together, we will work with situations or conflicts and play them out in the studio. The theme for this month's show is money. Here's an example of a situation which someone called in with. We've got our role-playing names, Lily and Roger, and let's hear what's going on for them.
So Roger, I'm so excited about our trip to Hawaii. Do you want to get the tickets tonight?
You know, I've been thinking about the whole Hawaii trip.
Oh no.
What?
I've been thinking about it. I know you're going to say something bad after that.
No, you don't know that I'm going to say something bad.
Okay, so what are you going to say?
I just think that we need to put the money into savings, that's
exactly.
all.
Which means not going on the vacation again?
What do you mean again? This is
Okay, does this sound familiar? In a moment, we will work with this situation and show how we can bring greater connection between Lily and Roger and more understanding. This is a call-in program about the common challenges that we face in our relationships at home and in the world. We're an all-volunteer effort with no budget. We're all affiliated with Bay Area Nonviolent Communication. You can call us from anywhere in the world at 510-433-0700 and press option 5. You can call us with any conflict you have in your life. It could be
maybe a conflict with your partner or a family member?
Or a conflict with an employee or with your boss?
Or it could be with a friend or with your neighbor. It could even be if you are having a conflict with yourself. Now let's see what happens when we bring some consciousness and skills to the situation with Lily and Roger. So, Roger, what you say next can change the world. Mm-hmm. So let's go back. What is it that you really want Lily to know about what's going on for you?
That I'm feeling very anxious when I look at our finances right now, and I don't have a very secure feeling when I see us spending money and not putting money into our retirement plans.
Mm-hmm. So when you think about the money that you have, when you think about the numbers and you see where you want to spend it, you get anxious.
At the moment, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what's underneath that anxiousness? What's important to you?
Well, I want to be able to relax, you know, and like before when we were kind of saving at a certain rate, which I've been told is advisable by various financial advisors and stuff, then I'm able to relax about it and we can have fun and we can spend money on frivolous stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just want to be able to relax and feel kind of secure.
So it offers you a sense of relaxation, and it sounds like security is important to you.
Yeah.
So let's try connecting with Lily. Instead of giving her the facts and the numbers about what's important to you, why don't you connect with her at this deeper level? See what might you say to bring her to your world?
Okay. Lily, can I just slow us down for a minute? I want to tell you what's bothering me. Mm-hmm. I just want you to know that I'm feeling quite anxious about stuff at the moment, and I'm about our financial situation, and I'm just really I would like to be able to relax, and I'm not relaxed, and I would just like to feel more secure than I am at the moment. So, and I want to know how you feel hearing me say that.
Well, I think the vacation will help you feel more relaxed. I mean, that's why I want to go on it, so that we can relax together. Life gets so stressful, and you know, I know that things are different with our budget now, and I don't know, I think the vacation would really help us.
So you're wanting to relax too, and you think you want us to have time together to relax?
Yeah, just to like get away from it all. I think we really need that. To like clear our heads.
Okay.
So how is that? Any different?
That's a lot different to before, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you were able to connect on something that you actually really valued in common.
Yeah.
When you expressed it that way, when you expressed what was important to your heart, then it looked like Lily came right to you. She wanted you to be able to relax.
Yeah, I mean, there's still more that I want to say, though. It's not over.
Okay,
you know.
So what's the next bit?
Well, I suppose the next bit is to say, I'm kind of fearful that I'm actually going to be not relaxed even when we get there, because I'm just going to be like thinking about how am I going to get more work when I get back, and how are you going to get more work when you get back, so we can make up for the expense of the vacation and get back on track and stuff. So, and that would be kind of sucky if we're there and I'm just, you know, fearful and anxious when we're there.
That's what margaritas are for. I mean, we'll be in the sun, it's going to be beautiful, the ocean's going to be there.
And my guess is that she jumped in because you made an expression and you didn't follow up with a way for her to connect with you. So there's two main ways that NVC supports us in pulling that connection. One of them is to ask her if she understood what you said. And the other one is to find out how she feels in hearing what you said. Either of those sound like a good option to you?
Okay, well, I'd say, okay, before we get onto the margaritas, I'm wanting to have a sense that you're kind of getting what I'm saying before you respond to it. So would you be willing to just tell me back what you heard was bothering me or what I'm fearful about?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay.
I mean, you're fearful that if we go on vacation, you're not going to be able to relax because you're worried about money and you don't think we have enough money and you really want us to be financially secure. Is that it?
Exactly, yeah.
I know you're worried, honey. And that's why I want us to go on vacation. So we can just step away from it.
And you'll just dose me with margaritas.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can work with you now, Lily. So it sounds like what you're trying to do is meet his need by saying, oh, I know you're worried and, you know, I can solve that. But what I'm really interested in is what's important to you about this particular way of relaxing and having fun? What?
I just feel like we need to do something that gets us totally away from our house, from our work, you know, just something that we're in a totally different setting. And I'm afraid that if we don't do that, the stress is just going to build and build and build, and it's not going to go away.
So one way you have confidence in releasing that stress is to leave your geographical area where you are, it sounds like. And so it's really important for you to be totally able to relax.
Yeah.
So let's see if you can pull Newt into your world. I mean, Roger. Let's see if you can pull Roger into your world. What can you say to get him to understand that that's important to you?
I'm just worried that if we keep, you know, just living our daily lives like this without taking a break, that the stress is just going to build and build and build. And I know that's not good for you, and it's not good for me. It's not good for our health. I want us to be healthy.
Now, what would you like for him to say back? Do you want to?
I guess, can you tell me what you're hearing is important to me?
You want us to do something that's going to relieve the stress that we're under? Yeah, you're scared about that stress getting any more extreme, and I know why that is, because we've been kind of bickering more recently and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So let's pause here. I'm noticing that, you know, the emotional temperature of the room has come down. Are you noticing that as well? What happened? When did that happen for either of you?
Well, like right now I feel heard, so I feel like I don't need to, like, you know, defend so much.
Yeah. So when someone reflects back or repeats back what we're saying, we don't need to fight to get heard, to say what it is that we want to say. It doesn't need to come out through, you know, grit and nails. It's smoother. What about for you?
that's certainly true. What you just said. I don't. We're not slinging arrows at each other right now. We've changed to kind of listening. You know, and I'm still kind of thinking that she's stuck on Hawaii, because clearly it doesn't have to be Hawaii, which is a way more expensive thing. So I'm not wanting to just like, I'm not going to stay this soft and connected if she keeps on insisting on it being Hawaii. I'm pretty sure of that. So at the moment, I'm hopeful that she's going to be open to considering some other options.
Well, let's find out. Do you feel open to considering other
Yeah,
options?
I don't feel like it has to be Hawaii. I mean, you know, I've been wanting to go there for years, so that's what, is really exciting to me. But I don't want you to be stressed on our vacation. So if you're less stressed, if we go somewhere, that's not so expensive, I think that would be good.
Okay.
So I love that you pulled this out. It's a really important piece about knowing when we're really attached to a certain way of getting our needs met. It sounds like what's important to you is fun and relaxation and a stress-free environment, and the same for you. And each of you is going to get that in different ways. It's really important. Conflict happens when we get really attached. It has to be Hawaii. And you can tell now that there's openness actually between both of you.
Mm-hmm.
But can we intend to go to Hawaii soon?
Sure.
Okay. I don't want to just drop that. I really want to go there with you.
Right.
You want to experience those blue waters and sandy beaches?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll go to San Anselmo this time.
No.
All right. So it looks like we helped out Lily and Roger a little bit. We got a little bit closer to having that conversation in a way that didn't raise everybody's blood pressure. So let's take a short break, and we'll come back and look at a scenario called That's Not Fair with Bill and Beth. Back to the conflict hotline. We have another scenario that someone sent in. Actually, if you want to call with one of your conflicts right now, would be a really great time to do that. The number is 510-433-0700. Option number 5 will take you straight to the conflict hotline. All right, so now we've got the scenario called That's Not Fair, and we've got 2 siblings, Bill and Beth, and we're talking about your mother's will. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's time to talk about dividing up Mom's money, and she said in the will that we're going to divide it equally, so let's make that happen.
I talked a lot with her because I was looking after her for the last decade or whatever.
I know, Bill.
Yeah.
You've reminded me a lot.
Yeah, I know, and I'm reminding you because what she really wanted was that we would feel that things were equitable in the will and that we wouldn't fight after she died. That she wasn't so attached to it being 50-50, she just thought that was the only way she could make it happen.
Uh-huh.
So and I don't think it's fair. It's not fair really, because I've invested so much more time than you and energy than you looking after her for the last 10 years.
So you're saying, even though Mom said in her will to divide her money 50-50, that she secretly told you she doesn't want that, and so you should get more?
Okay, I think I want to jump in here. So it looks like we're struggling with different translations about what someone said. And what I want to do is slow us down and look at what's important to you about what was in the will. So let's start with you, Beth.
Okay.
Give me a sense of what's going on for you right now when you're having this conversation.
Well, we're talking about, our mom who just died, so I feel shaky and sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I start to get angry anytime Bill brings up that he looked after her for 10 years. It's like this guilt trip he's putting on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want him to kind of take charge of the situation and take the money that I think is fairly owed to me.
So is it that you want to have more of a sense of making the decision together?
Yeah, and I'm not trusting that he's, because he's the older brother, I'm not trusting that he's gonna actually listen to me or even care about what I want.
Mm-hmm. So you want to trust that he's going to be able to consider you fully?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to start by telling him that? One of the strongest things we can do when we're in arguments like this is just be totally transparent about what's going on. Often, when we are transparent, something that comes across as aggression changes. And you can see that it's just anxiety or sadness or you're wanting connection. But if we don't express what's underneath, we're probably going to get defensiveness and come across as aggressive.
Okay. So first I just want to acknowledge that, this sucks that we're even talking about this. I really wish Mom didn't die. And I'm afraid that I'm not going to get half the money, and I really need it. You know, I have 2 kids, I'm really struggling, I need the money. How is that for you to hear?
Well, I don't like to hear that you're struggling, you know. I'm not doing that well myself either. So, you know, we're kind of probably in the same boat as far as that's concerned. And yeah, and it does suck that we're having to talk about it all. And it's horrible that that we have to be talking about this when we've just lost our mom. So, you know, I agree.
So already you're beginning to get on the same page of sharing some of this mourning. So what else would you like for him to know?
I don't think it's fair for you to get more than half.
So there's something about fairness here that I wanna look at a little bit deeper. What does it mean to you?
Fairness?
Well, when you say that it's not fair, I kind of want to know what is important to you. The money is one aspect of something that's important to you.
Yeah, I mean, just because you took care of her, you know, these last 10 years. I mean, I took care of her too. Just because you took care of her more than me. You know, I was taking care of my 2 kids. I couldn't be in 2 places at once. I would have if I could, but I couldn't. I feel like I don't want to get punished for that.
So it's something about wanting some trust that both of you are being considered, or something like that.
Yeah, like that I love Mom just as much as you do, and I cared for her just as much as you do, even though I couldn't be there. But I want that acknowledged.
It's about acknowledging how much you cared as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to see if he heard that?
Yeah, I want acknowledgement for how much I cared about Mom too. And what are you hearing me say?
Yeah, I know that you cared about Mom, and I hear you saying that. I'm not disputing that you cared about her.
But when you say like, but I took care of her for the last 10 years, like somehow that makes you more entitled to the money. To me, that just doesn't seem fair. That just doesn't seem fair.
So you're going in that direction in terms of you're wanting to interpret what Bill has been saying, and you're giving it meaning, you're giving it this interpretation. So instead of you giving it, see if you can just connect with what is he saying from his shoes.
You're saying that because you took care of her for 10 years, and supposedly she told you she wants to give you more of the money, that you should get it? Because something about...
Let's go even deeper. What would open your heart towards him? What could you possibly imagine is important to him that would open your heart to him?
Well, it's tricky because what's coming up is like, I think he resents that he took care of her and that I didn't help, and so I think he wants to get paid for it. I'm kind of stuck on that.
So...
I can say what it is.
I think I'd like to hear it in a moment.
Okay.
So, if he would get paid for it, what do you think that would give him?
Some sense of fairness. I don't know. Like your time was acknowledged. Your energy and your efforts were acknowledged. Your care was acknowledged. Is that it?
Yeah, the way I hear you responding, it's all just like, I hear defensiveness, and I never hear you just saying simply, yes, you gave up a lot of time and you gave up a lot of energy and you were willing to do that to look after Mom, and I noticed and I know. Like, you've never said that, and you're still not saying it now.
So when I ask you to look deeper about what's important to him, you get it. It's there in you. You have the access. Because we're all human, we share these very universal drives. It's there for you to access. And when you do, you get a really meaningful response back. You get what's really going on in Bill's heart. So I'm curious what you'd like to do now with that response.
Well, I'm torn because on the one hand, I feel bad. Like, I want, I actually do appreciate that you took care of Mom, but I feel like if I admit that, then you're going to get the money. And I don't think that that's fair still. So I hesitate to acknowledge that.
And we're still doing that same thing where we're putting into the same bowl the money and the acknowledgement. And so often, and while I'm glad we're having this show about money, because so often it becomes the same as those universal motivations or those universal values. So I want to see it. Can we take them apart? Can we just look at the acknowledgement separate from the money?
Yeah, if we're separating it, it's like, I'm so grateful that you took care of Mom. I couldn't. I had way too much going on, and someone needed to take care of her. And I'm really glad that, we didn't have to put her into a home, and that you gave so much of yourself to her. I do really appreciate that, Bill.
So let's pause here and hear what's been going on for Bill. So where are you?
Well, it's a relief to have you say that, Beth. It is a relief. I'm kind of surprised, actually, in some way, how much I've been wanting to hear you say that. And I totally get why you haven't wanted to say it, because you have fears about what's going to happen if you say it. But I'm just glad in this moment that you've been willing to say it. It feels like this thing which has been in between us is kind of getting slightly pulled aside, So.
And this would have been a very different conversation if we had only talked about the money. And this thing would have still been between you, most likely forever. It's this grave mistake that we make, that thinking that if we solve the money, we're going to solve the relationship.
Right.
So is there something else that is there anything you'd like Lily to hear? Anything else you'd like Lily to hear?
That I understand that it's Beth.
Beth. Clearly I'm great with the role-playing names.
That's right. That I understand that it's a tough job to look after two kids, and I love my niece and nephew, and I love the job that you do. So, I appreciate that that's prevented you from spending as much time with Mom, and she understood that too. So,
Wow, that feels like a real gift for you to say, because I've felt guilty that I couldn't be there, and just hearing that you appreciate, what I'm doing with my kids, and hearing that Mom, was okay with it, like that relieves a lot of guilt for me. So thank you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's probably more on the table.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it just feels like we're at a different place to start talking about the money thing. I mean, bottom line is I want us both to be doing okay. And I wish something we could do with the money which would just kind of work for both of us.
It sounds like getting to this point of connection, both of you having heard really essential pieces of appreciation and acknowledgement from the other one is already starting you on being able to have the conversation in a totally different way. So with that, I think we're going to pause here and take a break. And I want to remind people that you can call in with your situations. The number again is 510-433-0700. Press option 5 to get to Conflict Hotline. Thanks. We'll be right back. Together we can turn him. Welcome back to Conflict Hotline. Remember, you can call in 510-433-0700, option 5. We're going to do a scenario that someone sent us in called Can We Go Shopping? And the role-play names are Meg, and we're just going to call you Dad. All right, let's hear from Meg.
Dad, I saw the most amazing boots in the window of Bloomingdale's yesterday, and I really want to get them. Can we go get them today?
I don't see that you need any more footwear than you already have.
Oh, come on, Dad.
I have one good pair of walking shoes and one good pair of work shoes.
But you're a dad. You don't need shoes. Come on. They're gorgeous boots. When you see them, you'll see. They're so beautiful.
I don't know how we managed to bring someone up who's kind of like this materialistic.
Okay, this is where I want to stop you. Dad, I'm guessing that you've got some really important stuff you want to say to Meg.
Yeah, I want to tell her that being materialistic is ruining the entire planet, and that's not the way that we brought her up. That's what I want to say.
So I'm guessing that if you say it like that, you're going to get the "oh God" reaction.
Still true.
So we can focus on what's true and what your opinion is, but I'm not guessing that it's going to really create a close connection between you and Meg.
Okay.
Has that been your experience?
For sure.
So you have this experience where you tell Meg what's what, and she gets a little further away, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like ongoingly for the last 5 years, I would say, yeah.
So let's try something a little different.
Okay.
So you were about to say something about the planet. It's not good for the planet?
It's not good for the planet for us to be buying extra boots when we already have 14 pairs of footwear in our room.
Okay. So I would love for you to dig deep and let me know what's important to you about this, as opposed to saying some authority or some, should, or it's not good for. Make it personal. What's important to you so that Meg can really see who you are?
I am someone who hears things on the news every day which terrify me, and I see that the country that I'm living in and the country that I came from are both countries where people are just seemingly just caring way more about fashion and identity and stuff like that than they are about the planet that sustains us. And I'm terrified. And I'm terrified that she will have children who won't get to have one pair of boots, let alone several, because there'll just be nothing left for them. But that's how fast it's going to change.
So it sounds like you're scared. You're terrified is the word you're using.
Yeah, I am really. I try to ignore it, but I am, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what's the value? Is it something about sustainability, knowing that things are still going to be around for her when she's older and for her children?
Yeah, sustainability for her, sustainability for her children, sustainability for all of us. And just, even just staying alive, just like survival. It feels like survival, really. I don't want to over-exaggerate, but that's what it feels like for me. Like, I'm genuinely afraid that many of us are not going to be surviving for much longer.
So it sounds like there's a real urgency behind it for you because of that fear.
Well, there is. I mean, I feel hopeless about being able to do anything about it very much, which is why I'm at least just trying to limit how much we consume and throw away, It feels like one small thing, one small place where I have a little bit of power.
So it's about creating some kind of impact, feeling like you have some kind of power in the world.
Feeling like I'm doing something. I didn't just like sit idly by and watch it all fall apart.
Yeah. So there's another piece I want to look at here, because you're Meg's dad. I'm guessing that basically what you say goes about these boots.
Not always, no, but
No, she can get them or not?
I give in on plenty of things because it's just, I want a harmonious household, and I'm not going to get that if I dig my heels in too much.
So the situation is you either dig your heels in and say, no way, or you kind of submit and give in and say, fine, you over me.
Pretty much, that describes it.
How's that? Is that a fun set of options for you?
Neither option is particularly fun, no, but I don't know that there is a third option, really.
Well, I wonder if we can have the conversation in a way that includes both what's important to you and what's important to Meg.
Okay.
So let's first start by expressing to her what is important to you.
I would do that, but from past experience, I don't think she's going to listen to what's important to me.
I see. So do you want to start by seeing if you can connect with what's important to her?
You mean it's not just boots? It's not just being the most fashionable girl in the school?
Dad, I'm not the most fashionable girl in the school. It's a bit of an exaggeration.
Maybe she's the second most fashionable. But let's look at, even if that was the case, what beautiful thing could you guess that you could advocate for?
The beautiful thing about her wanting to go buy more boots and that I could
Because if we
advocate
remember
for.
that it's not about the boots, right?
Okay.
The boots are just one in a long line of, you've said it's been happening for 5 years, right? So there's many issues.
My guess is that she likes to look pretty, she likes to look beautiful. She likes to, like, how she dresses is kind of her work of art or something like that. It's the way she expresses herself creatively.
So let's see if you can turn that into a question and see if, give her a chance to tell you whether you got it or not.
Okay. So Meg, I'm going to do something different than what I've ever done before in a situation like this. Are you up for me trying something totally different?
Yeah, sure.
I am going to try and understand why it is that you want the boots.
Cool.
So, and I have a guess, which is that you just love to look pretty and you love to kind of express yourself, and it's a way, what you wear is a way that you express your creativity.
Yeah, that's pretty close, Dad.
So what am I missing if it's just close?
I don't know, it's like when I see those boots, it's like I just kind of have to have them. Molly and Jan got them, and other people are starting to get them, and it's kind of like if I don't get them, I'm like the only one who doesn't have them.
And you don't want to stand out as the only one who doesn't have something. You want to kind of be part of the team or part of the in thing, part of the, like to belong to the group or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds a little dorky. I don't mean to sound dorky, but it's like that's what people are wearing, and I really love them, and so I want to be wearing them too.
So I don't want to make it sound dorky in that case, so it just kind of feels cool for you to be kind of with the other people and to be excited about each other's clothes and stuff. There's something about that which is cool for you.
It's like if I don't have them, I don't even know what'll happen.
That's what I don't understand. What will happen?
I'm just going to be full of jealousy and envy.
Okay.
And, just every time I see them, I'm going to want them.
Right. So you would be basically having a way less fun time at school and out and about because you're going to be experiencing jealousy and just kind of obsessing about it. And so it's a way of just feeling more, having more fun and feeling more kind of relaxed as you go about.
Totally relaxed, yeah.
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 Wow, Dad. You're doing something pretty different.
I am.
How's it feeling?
Well, it's feeling like, I guess, I like to feel relaxed too, and I like to have a fun time. I just guess I go about doing it in a very different way than Meg, that's all.
So I want to know, so that's sort of relating to what she was saying is important to her, but I'm just wondering how it was for you to keep guessing. There was 3 or 4 times where you just, instead of responded, you just went deeper into what was going on for her.
It felt like I was using some part of my brain that I've never used before.
Uh-huh. And did you like the outcome?
Well, we're not shouting at each other yet, so, and we were before, so it's like this is different.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Meg? Is this a pretty cool way for Dad to approach you?
Yeah, I feel like he's actually interested in finding out more about me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And listening to what I'm saying. As opposed to just, telling me that I should not be so materialistic and that I should care about the planet.
So even if we don't find a solution to getting the boots or not getting the boots that satisfies both of you, already we've transformed your dynamic. already we've created a situation where Meg and Dad are happier to be in the same room together.
Okay.
But now I'm guessing that Dad has some stuff to add. Do you feel open to hearing what's going on for him?
Yeah, I think I do.
I guess what I'm interested in, I mean, you know, I've said it enough times before that you know this, or maybe I haven't said it quite this way, but I am very, very afraid for us, for our family, for our extended family, for our city. You know, like all the stuff, you've studied it in school too. It's like half of San Francisco might be underwater in a few years' time, and all those people have got to go somewhere who live, you know, it's like I am kind of terrified about these things. And there's a lot of stuff in the news that says that human beings with their consumption of more and more stuff are a big part of the reason why all this is happening. And I don't know if it's true or not, but a lot of scientists say it's true. So I'm just kind of afraid about that. And I guess it would help me to just have you tell me back what you understand about why I'm scared. Just to tell me that.
That you're scared that that basically that the earth is going to be destroyed, and that like our decisions and what we buy can make that happen sooner, and you don't want that to happen.
That's pretty much it. And maybe the earth not destroyed, but the human race maybe either destroyed or like put into a really bad situation. Yeah. And I suppose I also want to know like how that is for you to think about that stuff. You know, does that impact on you in some way? Like,
I mean, when I see how worried you are, I don't want you to be worried. So I care a lot about you. I don't want you to be terrified. And to be honest, I don't think about it as much as you do. You know, I don't. Yeah, we learn about it in school, and sometimes, you know, our friends will talk about it, but it doesn't, you know, I'm thinking about other things. It doesn't mean I don't care. I mean, I recycle and everything, but yeah, I don't feel terrified like you do.
okay.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm just taking it in. I'm just kind of trying to stay in this place of allowing you to be who you are, and to, you know, not to require you to be having the same experience that I am, I guess. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's hard, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm guessing that there's something about being her dad where you want to teach her.
Yeah.
You want to make her think the way that you think.
I want my kids to have my values, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So there's another layer there.
Mm-hmm.
About what you'd like her to do because who she is to you.
Right. And because I want the family, I don't want to be making the situation worse through my offspring, you know. So
there's something about what she does reflecting on you.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's a tricky one. In particular, I think when we see, you know, people who are very close to us, and we see them make a choice that we wouldn't make, and we take it on as reflecting on us as well. Well, this means I'm a bad parent, or, you know, I'm making the situation worse because I didn't teach my daughter so and so.
Right.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So.
But one thing which jumped out at me was just like, I realized how she has a lot of fun, and you know, and I'm glad that she's having a lot of fun because she's still a kid, and that's cool, you know. And so I'm glad that she's not sitting around worrying about these things all day, just because I am, you know. So, like in this moment, I have a little bit more, I suppose, willingness to look at both sides or something.
Well, I'm also guessing, Meg, that you got more of a sense of what was important to your dad from having the conversation this way than you did from him telling you that you couldn't have the boots.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that it makes more of an impact to have this conversation this way.
Yeah, for sure.
And with that, we're going to take another break, and we'll come back and do another scenario called I Deserve Some. Meanwhile, feel free to call us 510-433-0700, option 5. Thanks. Welcome back to Conflict Hotline. We have another scenario that one of our viewers sent in. We're going to call it I Deserve Some. We've got Xander and Jean. And let's see, Xander won this award, right? So Xander worked on a short story and you won an award. Mm-hmm. And let's hear what happens between Xander and Jean.
I won it.
You won it?
Yeah, I won it.
Oh my God.
Can you believe it?
Congratulations.
I know.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm on top of the moon.
So.
I'm gonna buy you dinner.
And then we'll split the money, yeah?
You're kidding. No, what?
You're kidding.
No,
You're gonna give me half the money, right? Since it was my idea?
No, they just gave, it's a $5,000 award, and I probably worked like something insane, like 1,000 hours on the project to get that award, you know.
And how would you have worked on the project at all if I hadn't come up with the idea?
Well, I get that you came up with the idea, but we didn't agree anything about splitting the money.
Why would we have to agree? It's just, that's just assumed. Of course you're going to give me half the money. It was my idea.
Ding ding, sounds like this is where I come in. So which one of you wants to do this a little differently?
She does.
I'll try.
So it sounds like you're a little surprised.
I'm totally shocked.
All right, well, let's start there.
Okay.
So you're shocked.
Yeah.
And
I'm like totally baffled. And then he looks shocked when I bring up that, of course, he's going to split it with me. And seeing him shocked just makes me even more shocked. Like, who are you? What rules are you playing by?
so it sounds like you have some expectations, some rules that you brought to the situation that you thought, of course, we're going to split the money.
Exactly.
So the first thing that I want you to notice is that those are things that you created, that they're not necessarily true, and they're not necessarily that everyone shares them.
Well, apparently not everyone, but I think most people.
Okay, so even that is, I want you to notice, is that you're putting in those judgments. So one of the pieces that I want you to do is just to own that, yeah, this is what I am coming with. It's not necessarily true. There's no should about him saying, yeah, of course I'm playing by these rules also. Because we're going to come across lots of situations where people are living by totally different expectations. I'm sure you've experienced that before.
Yeah, sure. That's a stretch for me, though, to be honest.
Okay, so let's just be transparent about that. Mm-hmm. Why don't we start there?
Where I'm at right now is I just want to be honest with you that my expectation was that we would split it because it was my idea. And that's just how it works in my world.
And so, great, so that's helpful. And now let's go a little bit underneath that. So what does it mean for you to get the money, being that it was your idea? What would that give you?
Some recognition that it couldn't have happened without me. And when he acts all surprised, and he worked hard on it, it's like, yeah, but that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't come up with the idea. And I feel like that's not being acknowledged, so I want some acknowledgement.
Okay, so you want some acknowledgement. And before you say that, let's take a moment to see if you can imagine what's important to him.
The money.
All right, we've been through this before, right? So it's very easy for us to say that what's important to other people is money. But we have seen previously in the show that often there's something underneath the money that's a value or a motivation that we can connect with.
Mm-hmm. So what might be important to him other than the money?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like you worked really hard on it, so you want recognition for that, for all the work you put in?
So that could be one option. So now you've got two options on the table. You can either see if you can connect with what might be going on for him, or you could express, again, what's going on for you, what you found was underneath your expectation.
Okay, I'll try guessing.
Okay.
So, yeah, Xander, so is it about recognition? Like you want You want to take all the money, minus the dinner that you're going to treat me to, because you want recognition for how hard you worked on it?
It's actually, that's not really landing for me as being what it's about. It's more that I just, like I say, I did probably 1,000 hours of work on this, which means I've been working for $5 an hour actually, and I could have been working for $0, but I was taking that gamble of winning the award. And so I just don't, there's just really fundamental things like sustenance, like just eating and paying the rent so that I have shelter, or at least so that I have comfort. I can sleep on someone's floor. I guess I can sleep on your floor. But, just like comfort and food and stuff like that, because I've been working on this assumption that was going to come through, I've been taking that gamble.
So like it was a risk for you to spend all this time working on the project and not be bringing in much income, and you were counting on this winning the award and having the money come in, and you really need it now.
Yeah, otherwise I knew I was going to be couch surfing, and it's like, wow, at last. It's been stressful to think about that, and now I get the relief. So
you feel really relieved.
Yeah, I did.
Until I brought this up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it sounds like you got a sense of what's important to him.
Yeah, he wants to be able to eat and have comfort and live well and enjoy the relief of winning.
Yeah. And the relief of not having to couch surf, yeah.
And what's going on for you?
I mean, I didn't know that you were counting on winning and that you were, in such kind of dire straits. So I feel a little more compassion. And I also am not hearing appreciation for the fact that I came up with the idea, and I'm wanting that.
Can I tell her straight away?
Yeah.
Because I am so appreciative of that, totally. And for me, it felt just like one of those things, like each of us showing up for each other in our friendship, and that was a particular way that you showed up, and you came through with this thing, and then that was the last you had to do with it. So I wasn't thinking of you as being involved, but I'm totally appreciative of that, and so many other things as well that you do. So, how's that to hear me say that?
I mean, it's good to hear it now, so thank you. I'm not fully taking it in, to be honest, because you said something like it was your idea, and then and then it was over. And it's like I'm wanting to acknowledgement for like it wouldn't have happened if the idea wasn't there. Like it's not just an idea. It's like that made it happen. It's
true. That is true. You came up with the idea, and I did all the work on it, but you came up with the original thought. It's true.
It's like I want to know that he values me.
So there's something about, you want to know, there's the piece about continuing the value, about how when your contribution wasn't over, that your contribution supported him in some way over time. It
wasn't just like a drop in the bucket. It was like a big deal.
So you want to get a sense from him that he acknowledges that it was a big deal.
Because of the value, I think that would make me feel more valued.
And what is it that you'd like him to say? Just those words? Like that it was a big deal and that it supported me over time? Or is it you just want to know you were valued?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you say that, and I'll see if I can take it in. If it's real for you.
It is real.
Okay.
I mean, I'm scared to say it a little bit because I feel like if I'm saying it, I'm saying, okay, you can have half the money. But the truth is, as we're being honest, like, you totally supported me on this. You've totally supported me on other things in the past with like advice or whatever. And the fact that you gave me the idea from which this thing has grown is now allowing me to some like breathing room as far as money's concerned. And I'm just hugely appreciative about that. You know, that's true.
So what I love about what you just did here was that you didn't let go. You really wanted it to land. And we have that power to ask for exactly what we want, to get the appreciation fully in the way that we want to be heard. And I'm really glad you were willing to stick through with it and say it in a way that would be meaningful to Jean. And with that, we are coming to the end of our time together. And I particularly want to pull out this moment when you were Dad and Meg, and the first thing that you said was, I'm going to try something different here. I really like that you did that. It kind of setting the stage that we're not going to operate in the world of the habit that we have lived in before. Often it can be really off-putting to have someone doing something totally different. So I love that you named it and you got permission, which was really sweet for me, and I'm guessing that it supported you in hearing what Dad said. I wonder if there's any other moments you want to reflect on from the show.
For me also, when I was Meg, it was really cool to see Dad's humanity. Like, I hadn't really ever connected with it before, but like when you were expressing how terrified you were, like, and I was like, I really got this sense of like, oh, you're a person too. And that helped me open more.
I think I just got an overall thing, which is that in many of these scenarios, whoever was wanting the money or wanting the boots or whatever, you could get that at the expense of the other person or at the expense of the connection. And that for me, I just have some sense that just to connect in this human way, even if you then give the money or whatever it might be, even if that then happens, it's just going to be coming from a very different place, you know, and the nature of the relationship will be different afterwards.
Thank you. If you liked what you saw today and are moved to want to learn these tools, call our organization, Bay Area Nonviolent Communication, or look at our website for training opportunities with me or Newt and many others. Our contact information is at the end of the program. Also, we want to hear your feedback. We continue to experiment with the format and the content of each show each month. So send us your comments or scenarios. If there's role plays you want us to do, send them to conflicthotline@baynvc.org. Before we go, I want to thank Newt and Allie again. I want to thank the crew and the production people, all of whom are volunteering to support this program. Thanks also to Berkeley Community Media for the use of the studio and their support. Our biggest gratitude goes to the people who sent in our scenarios. Keep sending them in. We love it. Hopefully they were rich and meaningful to all of our viewers, because I know they were to us. We hope you'll join us again next month for another hour of the Conflict Hotline. We're on the air live the first Thursday of every month at 7:30, so that'll be July 1st. Until then, I'm Sigal Shoham. I hope to see you. Good night from everyone here at Conflict Hotline.
And the next breath is for all the people who can relate to me and you. Cannot see eye to eye, won't you step up with me and try? Drop the fences down, find the common ground and take a deep breath.